So just it's crazy because everyone thinks of Loudoun County as one of the wealthiest counties in the country, but the need is still there. For example, last year, it was over 146,000 pounds of food that we delivered to families in need just in Loudoun County.
Wow. And little did we know.
Yeah, people just don't see it.
Hi, welcome back to Glow Talk Studio. I have a very special treat for you guys today. In this episode, I have my very good longtime friend, Jen del Grande, here with me. I'm so thankful to have you. So happy and proud. She is Chief Communications Officer at Tree of Life Ministries here in Loudoun County. And we've had such an adventure together.
Sure have.
Meeting as neighbors, raising our kids, and now after all these years, I'm just so thankful and proud and happy that we could maintain our friendship and grow together in this crazy life.
In a new season, yeah.
Yeah, in a new season.
So many different seasons, yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. So thank you, Jen, for being here.
Of course. I'm just excited to be here and support you in this new thing that you're doing too. So it's wonderful.
I appreciate you so much. Well, we have very exciting things to talk about today. And one of them is very close to my heart, and that is the food pantry and offering food service and food to our community for those who can't afford it. And just general support, right? Tree of Life Ministries does much more than just the food pantry.
Yes.
But I think you guys have kind of taken the helm on food pantry and offering food to the community, partnering with other churches. I know Community Church is also a partner with you guys. We used to have a food pantry, and it was just, I think, just whatever, series of events that led to us now working with you guys on these efforts. So
our food pantry is definitely how most people know about us. It's one of our most visible ministries. We do have 5 branches. So we do food, life skills, shelter, healthcare, and relief. But our food pantry is really unique in Loudoun County because we don't just have a pantry that people show up at and grab a bag or two for the day or for the weekend. We actually deliver 2 to 3 weeks worth of food to families in need in Loudoun County. And we cover the whole county. And when you think about your grocery bill and my grocery bill, each of us having 3 kids, that is 2 to 3 weeks of groceries is a huge budget savings. So we're able to help people get over the hump during tough times, and we're able to help people even longer if they need it, as they go through whatever season of life that they're going through. So,
and I love that. Like, we were talking, and I actually have personal friends of mine who have used the services of Tree of Life. And, it's not like necessarily a long-term need, right?
Yeah.
There are some families out there, and, just to kind of put things into perspective, like, we all can feel
a pinch
or even like scared to reach out for help in these ways, and just know that there are these services available for you, and just in, let's say, if you need it for 3 weeks or 6 weeks, just to get you over the hump.
Yeah, it is. And that's actually one of the great things about the delivery model is that you're not lining up at a food pantry. You get to maintain kind of just your sense of dignity. We come to your home with volunteers that are trained in this. It's like any grocery delivery. And we do have so many families that when we look at the numbers over the year that just call for 2 or 3 months worth of food at the most, and then we don't really even hear from them again because they just needed to get over that hump. And that, I've even seen families personally that my kids play sports with that I know that we've helped in the past, a couple of years ago, and they've gone from, needing just a couple months of food and maybe some Christmas gifts for their kids to now, they're thriving, they're running their own business, their life is good. So in Loudoun County, where the cost of living is so high, it does not take much for you to be like, we are
struggling
and we need to get through this. So.
Well, and let's talk about that, because Loudoun County is one of the most
wealthiest counties in the country, right? So,
but little did we know.
Yes, yeah. So people people often don't think about the fact that with that comes this high cost of living, and last year alone we served 36,000 impacts throughout the course of the year through all of our branches, and that includes about 146,000 pounds of food that we delivered to families in the county. So the need is there, and we do see it growing every year.
Yeah.
I think we're even higher now in our numbers. Granted, we've grown throughout the county than we were in COVID, which was one of our, of course, hugest years. So, so the need is there, and food is certainly one of the areas where people, it's always a balancing act when you're going through a tough time. My car needs repairs, or I need to pay rent, or I need to pay utilities, or I have to go
medical
to the grocery
bills,
store.
or something happened. Yeah.
So there's a constant kind of trade-off that families are considering, and if we can just bring with food, or we do have financial assistance as well, but sometimes that's limited in terms of our budget as well. So food is something we can always do, we can always give. So it's a great way to really just help people get through a difficult time, or just help them kind of long-term find ways to really, that's why we do so many things, is to really come around them holistically. So if it is someone that's calling regularly, we can say, okay, let's talk and let's figure out what's going on and how we can move you to a better place.
There might be other services that they could
and our volunteers who deliver food often notice this and have suggestions, so we can reach out to them and just kind of really get a better idea of how they can move to a better place, more independent.
I mean, it's just such, I'm so thankful, honestly, and for you, and your journey finding Tree of Life, right? Because we used to live across the street from each other in Leesburg.
Yes.
I remember the day I saw you
tiny
walking
babies.
your stroller and the dog, and I was like, oh, it's a new mom. Maybe they just moved in. And I mean, not that I ever had done that, but I literally watched you walk to your house, and I wrote a little note with like, here's my number, and I live across the way, and I have small kids too.
Well, and thank God you did, because we had just moved out there before we even had the baby, and I had no friends really in the area. And you know how, I mean, you have a new baby, you feel very isolated, especially in a new house and being at home. My husband's at work every day, so it was huge. It was huge to find your the right group of moms.
Yeah, and we had a lot of little play dates and things like that. And since then, you guys moved out to Percival. And we loved always visiting you on your farm.
Yeah,
your chickens. And I loved it. I loved it so much. So let's talk a little bit actually about, let's say, for instance, with the food pantry and people, having the delivery service, which is amazing. How else are you supporting these families with food and nutritious food? Because when I think of food pantry, I'm like, it's all like boxed and canned. And I've donated a bunch and shipped things out as, once you release kind of like, okay, these are our needs.
List.
But I think, some people are like, am I still going to get healthy food?
Yeah, so it is a balance, because obviously non-perishable foods are the easiest for us to maintain and deliver in a food pantry. But we have seen such great support, especially in the western part of the county, with people who just are growing fruits and vegetables in their backyard and have backyard chickens and eggs. So a large part of the year, we are getting so many fresh fruits and vegetables, which we have the capacity to take. We have, all the refrigeration you need. So we are always, always welcoming those types of donations, whether it comes from your backyard garden or Harris Teeter, we will take it. And fresh meats, we have freezers. We do a deep freeze, so that we make sure that we can keep them as long as possible and deliver them. So it's really important to us to have all these connections in the community, so that we can offer more than just the regular non-perishable items. We actually work, JK Farms has this huge farm, as most people know, out in Western Loudoun, that they provide all that food to local food pantries. And they work with Loudoun Hunger Relief, who then distributes to other food pantries. And we're so grateful to be one of the recipients of those. So we do our best in terms of getting those donations in, but those are something we just don't receive quite as often. So we love it when we receive that.
And I know it's becoming more popular for people to have their own small gardens and growing food. So, I mean, we'll probably talk about this in a little bit, but how others can help. But just know that there are ways for folks who do have an overabundance.
Yes. And if you've ever grown zucchini, you will probably have way too many, or green beans, and we will happily take them off your hands. And bags of lettuce, things like that. So, so that's a great way. That's one of the ways that we try to make sure that the food we're giving out is nutritious and really benefiting people. But part of our model is with the deliveries is, so you call in and you say, I need some food, and we have a volunteer that then calls you back. and we go through a whole list. We call it our packing list of the food that we have available. So that could include anything from the packaged items to fresh fruit and meat, whatever we have available, and dietary needs and allergies. So if someone is like, I'm gluten-free, we can accommodate that. And if we don't have the things on hand, we have a great support network of people who donate food that will help us make that happen for that partner.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I know in my own life and my family, we just found out Rudy has a bunch of food sensitivities. Like, it's hard even being able to, let's say, just buy your own food, but like figuring out like what to eat. So
our food pantry managers, both in Ashburn and Percival, really care about making sure that people are getting the foods that they need. And we try, you'll see in our food needs list, I mean, we want that people to have the same foods in their fridge and cabinets that you or I would have, so we ask for condiments, we ask for fresh food and things like that when we put out our needs list to make sure that they have all the array of things that they need and they will eat so that things don't go to waste. And our food pantry manager actually in Percival did the sweetest thing last year. We got some interesting vegetables that a lot of people may not have used kind of regularly. I think one of them was rutabaga, I'm not sure.
Yep.
And she looked up all these different recipes online and put them in the deliveries for the family so they would know what these new vegetables are.
How to cook
them, yes, and what could they kind of pair with, just so people don't, receive these awesome gifts from local farmers and say, I don't know what to do with this, and she gave them some options. So they really care about making sure that people have.
So I mean, it really is truly a holistic process for anyone who is receiving the service.
And we are very big on limited waste. So that's one of the reasons we do the packing list, because we don't want to send people food they're not eating. But then we also work with local farmers to take anything that we can't use, things that have expired food or fresh foods that are no good anymore. They might use it for compost. They might feed their pigs with it, but our whole goal is that things aren't going in the trash. They are feeding people. They are helping the community.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. I love that. Also, you have a great network of volunteers, and I know you are very much in trying to get everyone organized, and that's part of also your role there. But I know probably you always need more volunteers.
We do. So we have a great army of volunteers. I mean, last year, I think our total number of volunteers that volunteered at least 1 hour throughout the year was about 450 different people. Wow. And it was 15,000 volunteer hours. So we are hugely volunteer run. Staff like me is fairly limited, and we like to keep it that way. So we're always in need of volunteers, particularly for food deliveries, because the more people we have that are signed up to help us deliver the food, the more deliveries we can do every week. So that's kind of our only limitation factor on that. And then, of course, we do our community dinners. We do it on Tuesdays, we're in Sterling and in Leesburg. And then on Thursdays, we're in Percival. And these are a great community meal that's provided by a local group. It's not by Tree of Life. So we have other groups that sign up, like churches, small groups, businesses, even families come and make enough food for 50, 60 people and just feed the community every single week. And it's not just people who are struggling, it's people who are lonely too, that just want someone to have dinner with, just need a friend. And our volunteers do a great job making those relationships so that people really want to keep coming back. And
and that is that's a ancient practice, right? Of finding community over a meal.
Exactly. And community and relationship are part of our core values. So the dinner is just a great way for us to really live that out.
Oh my gosh. I feel
that's a great way to volunteer too.
Right now. Okay.
So that's the host groups for the dinners is another great way to volunteer. There's, if you go to our website, tolministries.org and click, there's a button that says want to help, and that will take you to all the different ways that you can get involved.
Wow.
So we try to make it as easy as possible, but you can always just email too.
Well, I love also, and I've been out to the coffee shop in Leesburg and the consignment store, which is more like a boutique. It doesn't even look like a consignment store. And I understand you're opening another coffee shop out in Percival.
We are. So the coffee shop is Simply Be Coffee. It's in Leesburg, and it's adorable. It provides work opportunities for people with disabilities. And it's just been such a huge success and such a great place of community. And then the thrift store is the clothing closet. And we have one in Percival and one in Leesburg right underneath the coffee shop. And you're right, it is a boutique. And we were even hesitant to use the word thrift when we started it because we really wanted it to have a beautiful feel.
Well, and again, it's helping to preserve people's you know.
Yes. So people can shop there, but then we do the free clothing. And so the people who come in need of free clothing get to shop just like anyone else. And they're shopping in a boutique place, not, through a bin of
Digging through
leftovers.
bags
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
that was really our goal. But yes, you mentioned the coffee shop in Percival. We are bringing Simply Be to the Giant in Percival on Main Street. And we are super excited.
I'm so excited for that too.
I mean, who doesn't want coffee while they grocery shop? I know I do too. But just to have, and more opportunities for people with special needs to work and have purpose and independence, that's a huge goal for us. So
and that giant shop, that you're going to be working, I guess it's
in the store.
It's
going to be in the store.
They already also promote
they do
hiring.
Yes, they hire quite a few people with special needs. So it's a really great fit for us. The manager there has been super excited and supportive. And so it's going to be just a great day. And I'm just glad to I don't have to go to Leesburg to get my coffee.
Yeah.
I'll go just to the Giant. So that's a great partnership. So that's the summer. We don't have an exact date yet, but it looks like it'll be July. So we're very excited.
Oh my gosh, that is such a
so
blessing.
much happening.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot to communicate as the communications
Well, that's why we're
officer.
here. I want to do everything I can to promote you and all the work that you guys are doing here in the community. I mean, it really is like just a miracle. And a blessing for all. I mean, I know people who have benefited from the services.
And that's so wonderful for us to hear. We don't always hear, we do our best to kind of collect those stories because, when you're just doing the day-to-day of this job and ministry, you don't always hear that feedback. So it's really wonderful when we hear stories like that.
So I invite all of you to please share and comment if you've ever experienced the love of Tree of Life. Please share this episode, put your comments below.
That would be amazing. Yeah. And we work with about 40 different churches. So when you're sharing about how you've been impacted, that's really because of, the church. Because so many people have been involved as the hands and feet of Jesus that have just come to us to either donate or volunteer or even just share on social media. Things like that are always are what we need to get the word out and to get more people to help us and so that people who are in need know that we're out there.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to reach out.
No, it is, I think it's interesting. Most of the people who call us are women. And I think as moms, you and I can probably understand why that is. You reach a point where you're like, I need help. And you have children and that you have to take care of and you can't, watch them.
We can't do it alone.
Yeah, we can't do it alone and we don't want to have a night where we have a child with no food on the table. So,
this is very close to me, and not that my parents or my family was always like out of food, but I definitely remember opening up the fridge in the summer times and they're working long hours and gone and just there's no food in the fridge.
Yeah. No. So many moms put away their pride and call and ask for help. And we want to make sure that when they call us, first of all, that we can say yes.
Yeah.
We can help you. We've got a pantry full of food. And also that they feel really loved and cared for. We always, always offer to pray with them. When we get a prayer request, we follow up with them. Like we want to be there. We understand it is so hard to ask for help. And
Jen, I'm telling you, I am at a point in my life where I can see myself slipping back into those habits of not asking for help when I really need it.
Yeah. It's hard to do. We want to act like we've got it all together all the time, but we don't.
Okay. No one to ask for
no
help.
one does.
I am getting emotional right now, but I'm very thankful for everything you're doing.
Oh, well, I'm thankful for you. No, this has been, you mentioned we have been through many seasons of life together, and I feel like this is such a blessing that now we're in this new season where we can just focus on helping others and each other and building things up. And
Absolutely.
I think that's so important as friends and as women and as neighbors.
And to not feel bad about it. This is part of why we're here together as a human culture and humanity and being together.
Yeah.
And, this is why the church, this is why Jesus came, is to teach us these things.
Yep. And, and he said the poor would always be with us. So as much as we want to work ourselves out of business at Tree of Life, we know that's probably not going to be the case. So we just want to make sure we're serving with his love and reaching out to those in need.
Oh, I love it so much. Well, I'm very happy to promote and continue to give and serve and do whatever we can. And now we have another exciting announcement coming soon.
Yes, because there's not enough happening. Tree of Life. We have taken our Leesburg and Sterling food pantries and offices and consolidated them into one big one in Ashburn, which we're having a ribbon cutting ceremony for on May 8th, which you'll be at.
I know.
And we are so excited because it really just is going to allow us to be more efficient, to serve more people, to just have this centralized location, both for volunteers and churches and donations and for partners, and just really kind of lean into the eastern part of the county and make sure that we're reaching out to those people that are in need out there, because there is so much need, particularly in that part of the county. So,
and I mean, and
we're
it's
very
not,
excited.
again, it's not just about the food pantry. And when I, become emotional, it's because like there's so many other facets of life that we need help, and that we're just like, maybe we don't know where to turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we feel bad, or like that we've done something wrong, or that like it's because of us that,
that you're in a tough situation when things just happen. Yeah, things just happen. And so that's why we have been, Tree of Life from the beginning has been so focused on this very comprehensive approach. Because when someone shows up for food and then tells us they're struggling in another area, we don't want to say, oh, well, sorry, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We want to be able to, lean in and help them either ourselves or know who to point them to. So one of our ministries, our Transitional Housing Ministry, is actually a really good example of this, because we have affordable housing out in Western Loudoun, and that we're housing families. We actually have a couple for individuals with disabilities, and we've done, we've helped single women in the past too in a different location. But when you join that program, it's not just, okay, here's inexpensive housing for a couple of years. It's okay, what do you need just practically and spiritually, and to make your family just independent and sustainable and have purpose. So we have, budgeting coaching, we have help with jobs, we have, if you need English classes, we have free English classes. And then of course there's a spiritual side of it. So we help connect them with the church when they're ready, and just to be there for them and know that like, this is not, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And you can get out of whatever cycle you have found yourself to be in. And sometimes, so for some people, it's just a few, choices that went awry. And for some people, it's something longer.
Right.
So
or
it really
tragedy,
just depends. Yeah.
right?
So,
I mean, and when you say like knowing that you're not alone, I have found a lot of peace in that, even personally through losing Rudy. And I mean, even we didn't know when we met, you told your story of your sister passing of melanoma. And at that time, he had not even been yet diagnosed.
That's right. Yeah.
And then fast forward, it's like, oh my gosh. And for her, she was so young too.
She was. My sister's only 25. And as you know, it's the type of cancer that can move really quickly and aggressively. And so once we found out, we had very little time before her passing, and it was heartbreaking, but it's also helps me talk to people who are going through similar things
and be there
help
for them too.
Provide compassion, because there's, when someone's going through something that you always want to say the right thing and do the right thing. And there's an understanding once you've been through it, there's not a right thing to say or do. And sometimes it's just to be there. Yeah. So that is, it's hard to watch someone go through something that is so hard.
I know.
But
we can turn that energy around and use it as fuel for helping others and supporting them. And maybe there isn't the right thing to say, but just to be and just, give a hug and
just to be there
and understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
No, it's so meaningful. And I'm so glad that you can provide that in all these different facets through Tree of Life Ministries. I mean, it's just really such a beautiful thing. So I really do want to, turn to the audience here and ask for you to take a look at the site. If you're interested or you feel called to help, just sign up and have someone call you and see maybe if you can fill some gaps. It doesn't mean it's forever. Maybe you can only commit 1 or 2 days over the summer or whatever, or maybe your garden is overproducing in the month of August and you need someone to call to come take all the zucchini off your hands.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And that is exactly, you're totally right. This isn't like a lifelong commitment to Tree of Life. We have volunteers that are really committed to helping at some of our big yearly events, and they are there and we can count on them and we need them. And then we have people who want to be there every day. We have people who want to serve once a month. It really, whatever season of life you're in, we can probably find find some way to fit you
But
in.
like the point is that you can make a difference. Like
Yes,
that is
100%.
the entire point here. And even if it's on a very small scale or in your mind, you think like, well, I could do this, but maybe it's not enough, or no, just reach out.
Yeah,
If you feel called, do it.
I volunteered at Tree of Life before I started working there, and I
right.
was literally entering like volunteer hours data one Tuesday morning a week while my youngest was at preschool, because that's what I could fit in my schedule. But I knew I needed to be doing something for God's kingdom. And now that I'm so much more deeply into what Tree of Life does, that's, even data entry is hugely important when you're an organization that needs grants and things like that. So don't think that you don't have the right gifts or you don't have the right time. Like, there's so much that small nonprofits need in terms of volunteers and support. So
for such a big impact.
Yeah. And who knows what it could turn into. So
I
ended up working there a year later. You never know. So so it's been a really wonderful journey for me, and I just hope other people lean into serving.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I love you. And I'm just so thankful for having you here in my new space.
Which is beautiful. So you're just sharing about what we're doing is such a huge blessing to us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for caring about your community and wanting to get more involved, even, in your special way that you can with all this that's a huge gift to us. We actually just had our big grand opening for our new Ashburn Center, which will have a pantry as well as offices and house our ministry activity for that part of the county. It was awesome. We had Loudoun Chamber came out for it. Some county supervisors were there as well. And it was just a great turnout of volunteers and supporters, and just a really wonderful community event to celebrate this new place that's going to help us better serve the eastern part of the county. So glad you could make it there. It was really such a fun morning.
Yeah, no, I mean, amazing. The facility is great. Meeting everyone there and just seeing all the excitement and seeing how that facility is going to better serve the community. I mean, I'm so excited. It was a beautiful day. I'm glad that Glow Talks could be out there to help promote and take an accounting. Yeah. I love being a witness to all these beautiful things.
Thank you. That's a great way to put it. We just appreciate you being there and supporting us and just, bringing attention to what we're doing.
Yeah, I love it. Always. I'll do it anytime.
Thank you.
Now, for all of you who are interested in reaching out, Jen, tell us again the website where they can go.
Yes, the website is tolministries.org, and that has all the information you need, including a contact page if you want to get directly in touch with us. And then, of course, that Want to Help button. Yep. And right next to it is a donate button. You can click that one too.
That's great.
So, there's all types of ways you can get involved, and we just want to help. Our food ministry is actually one of our biggest areas of service impact. I mean, across Tree of Life, we served over 36,000 in 2024. But in the food pantry, it was 146,000 pounds of food that was delivered to people across Loudoun County. And that was over 5,000 individuals that we were feeding throughout the year. Wow. And then the community dinner that I mentioned, this was a huge year for us because in particular in Sterling, we've had a lot of people come in need of food. So we're at over 10,000 meals throughout the year at our 3 different locations. So it was a huge year. It continues to grow. So it's a great opportunity for people who want to get involved and really kind of focus on food insecurity and share with families.
Yeah. Wow. It's incredible. And we just, you don't really realize.
No, you don't. It's surprising, and you don't see it in the same ways in Loudoun County that you might see it in other places. It's not necessarily quite as in your face, but the need is certainly there, and we hear about it every day. So so people and donating food, donating your time, making dinners, things like that is such a great way to get involved. And there's so many different options in terms of what's right for your season of life for helping those in need in Loudoun.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You guys are doing so much good work.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a blessing, but we can't do it without folks like you and the donors and supporters and churches and just the many people that are involved on a daily basis or once a year, however it may be. It all makes an impact. It makes a huge impact.
Wow. Incredible.
We're just so grateful for the community coming around us and supporting this big move.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I will hope to see you guys online, and please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below if you've ever received or have been a witness to the love of Tree of Life.
Sometimes volunteer stories are just as impactful as partner stories.
And please stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have lots more to come, and we hope to see you around. around in Fairfax and Loudoun County. So thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this. Now, we do have a little game to play. We're in season 2. So Jen, get ready.
Oh boy.
It's ping pong time.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'm just going to ask you a series of very easy questions.
Okay.
1 or 2 word answers, or
Okay.
if you want to elaborate, and I'll be happy to do so as well. All
Okay.
right. So, because we're all curious.
Okay.
All right. So
Pass an option.
it's an option.
Okay,
Don't worry.
okay.
Don't worry. Okay. What is your go-to self-care activity?
Oh gosh, going to bed early.
Oh, yeah.
Really. Washing my face, getting ready for bed, getting in bed early, and just
Lights
be
out.
done. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I like it. What is one of your favorite affirmations?
I don't know about favorite, but the one I have been saying to myself a lot lately, because we have a lot going on, is from a song. It is, I've still got joy in chaos. So when the house is in disarray and we're driving this way and that way with the children and there's work to do, all sorts of things, and I start to feel kind of that, clenched, frustrated thing, I start to remind myself, I still have joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So I kind of just repeat that to myself to remember that who I trust in and who's in control. And I take a deep breath and I keep going.
I'm going to use that.
It's really good. I will send you the song. I'll send you the song.
Yes, please do. What is your love language? What would you say your top love language is?
Probably words of affirmation.
Okay.
I like to be told I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm
that's
the
probably
same.
my number one. I'll take any of them though at this point. Almost 20 years of marriage, I'll take anything.
I hear you. Don't show Mark the episode.
Don't. He's already planning to watch it. So
He does a good job. He's
Yeah,
such
he
a good
does.
guy
He's
for you.
wonderful.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Okay. How about a book that changed your mindset?
Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis.
Wait, what is it?
Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. It's what brought me to Jesus, and I recommend it to anyone who's curious about Christianity.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, and I can remember one of the first times that I felt more comfortable in my prayer life and talking to God was when you told me, imagine Jesus just sitting down at your kitchen table with a cup of coffee and just talking.
Yeah.
That changed my life, Jen. I just want you to know that.
It wasn't mine. I'm sure I got it from a book. I'm sure it wasn't from me. Yeah, I have to do that. I still have to remind myself because I have so many conversations with myself in my head. And I'm like, I should be talking to Jesus. This is a conversation for him to guide me as opposed to me just going on and on about.
Yeah, no, it changed my life.
head.
So I want you to know that. And then, oh gosh, what about,
Oh boy.
I know. What would be your alter ego's name?
My alter ego? I don't know.
Fun question.
Is it a fun question?
It is.
I don't know. I'll just go with, I always wanted my name. My mom told me she almost named me Christine, I think it was, but we had too many Chris's in our family. And I was always like, that's such a better name because there's 8,000 Jennifers everywhere you go. So her name would be Christine. I don't know what her last name would be. Probably something easy and not Del Grande. Yeah. So Christine something. I don't know what it would be.
I like it. I like
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
I think it's fitting.
Would it
I'm
make
going to
an
call
okay-
you one day and be like, hey, Christine.
Who is this?
Well, Jen, thank you so much for playing along. I really love having you here, and I can't wait for all of our adventures to come.
Me
and
too.
Tree of Life.
So many more seasons ahead of us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I love you. And you guys, thank you so much for watching and being here with us. Please like, subscribe, join the channel. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Please share this episode. Share it with anyone who you know who might, benefit or be able to volunteer. And we really do appreciate all your help also, even in the small things, to help support our community here. So thank you all, and we will see you in the next episode.